Welcome back, Focus Learners. I am so pumped you're here today because we're going to decode something literally everyone is talking about, but honestly, very few people actually understand. In this explainer, we're tracing the entire evolution of machine thought. We're going to look at exactly how different AI types function under the hood, moving from the everyday reality of the tools in our pockets all the way to the absolute frontiers of science fiction. So let's jump right in and make some sense of this crazy AI landscape.
To really ground us right away, let's think about this quote from Andrew Ng. He's a massive pioneer in the field. He says, "Artificial intelligence is the new electricity." And man, that just perfectly captures what we're living through right now. AI isn't just some cool novelty anymore, right? It's the foundational fabric of our modern tech. It's quietly running everything from your Netflix binge recommendations to self-driving cars. It's everywhere. And understanding how it works is honestly just as crucial as understanding how electricity completely changed the 20th century.
All right, so here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll decode the AI umbrella. Then, we'll look at our current reality. After that, we'll pop the hood and check out the engines actually driving AI. And finally, we'll explore the theoretical future.
Okay, Section 1. Decoding the AI umbrella.
So probably the single biggest misconception out there is that AI is just one giant all-knowing brain. It's definitely not. We actually classify it in two distinct ways. First is capability, meaning just how smart is the system. And second is functionality, meaning how does it actually think and process information. When we cross-reference those two things, we get a really clear map of what's firmly in use today, things like narrow AI and limited memory, versus what's still purely theoretical, like super AI.
A really great way to picture this is to think of AI like a matryoshka doll. You know, those wooden Russian nesting dolls? Any single AI system you interact with nests these different categories together. Take a self-driving car, for example. In terms of its capability, it's a narrow AI. For its functionality, it's a limited memory system. And the actual core technology running inside it, that's deep learning. See? They all just nest together to make the whole thing work.
Let's move into Section 2. Our current reality.
Let's look at the actual AI we interact with right now. Looking at this timeline gives us some fantastic perspective on the sheer evolutionary leap of machine thought. We start way back in 1997 with IBM's Deep Blue. This was a super rigid machine that literally defeated a chess grandmaster but couldn't learn a single new trick. Then we jump to the 2010s, where systems like Siri and those Netflix algorithms introduced memory and dynamic learning. And wow, now in the 2020s, we've arrived at the era of generative large language models. These highly advanced, context-aware systems that can write, code, and analyze data in mere seconds.
But we need a quick reality check here, because despite all this mind-blowing power, every single AI we use today is what we call narrow AI, or weak AI. Yep, even ChatGPT, which feels incredibly smart, is just a narrow AI. It excels at very specific, predefined tasks, like, predicting the next word in a sentence to generate text. But it can't independently take that knowledge and just apply it to a totally different domain, like physically driving a car. It is absolutely brilliant, but it's bounded.
If we look at how these early machines actually function, the baseline is the reactive machine. These are stateless, entirely memory-free systems. They just react to current inputs with predefined outputs. When IBM's Deep Blue beat Garry Kasparov at chess, it was just analyzing the board in that exact isolated moment, crunching millions of possible moves. It had zero memory of past games, zero concept of long-term strategy. It literally just reacted.
The massive functional leap that changed everything for us is limited memory AI. This is the functionality powering the vast majority of today's tech. Unlike those old reactive machines, a limited memory system actually stores historical data and uses it to adapt, learn, and make incredibly accurate predictions over time. It's what moved us from static, rigid reactions to dynamic, continuous learning.
Let's walk through exactly how this works in practice. A limited memory system, like that self-driving car we talked about, operates in a constant, never-ending feedback loop. Step 1, it ingests historical training data about driving. Step 2, it actively observes its current environment, the road, the weather, pedestrians. Step 3, it makes a split-second decision, like whether to brake or swerve. And then, crucially, Step 4, it updates its memory with the results of that action so it can drive even better the next time. It's literally learning from experience. Section 3. The engines driving AI. So we know what narrow AI and limited memory systems are, but how do they actually pull it off? Well, at the very core of modern AI is machine learning, or ML. For decades, computer science relied on human programmers writing really explicit, rigid if-then rules. Machine learning completely flipped the script. Instead of programming the rules, we just give the system an algorithm and massive amounts of data, and we empower the machine to autonomously find the hidden patterns and rules all by itself. And how exactly does it learn those patterns? Well, engineers use different methods depending on what they're trying to achieve. If you want a system to catch spam emails, you use supervised learning, basically feeding it thousands of emails explicitly labeled spam or not spam. But if you want an AI to master a complex video game or operate a robot, you'd use reinforcement learning. That's a trial and error system where the AI learns by getting digital rewards for good actions and penalties for bad ones. It's pretty fascinating.
Now, it's totally critical to clear up a major point of confusion in the business world right now: generative versus predictive AI. Think of generative AI as the creator. It studies patterns to produce entirely new original stuff like text, images, or code. Predictive AI, on the other hand, is the analyst. It looks at historical data to forecast a future outcome, like predicting if a customer is going to cancel their subscription, or forecasting next quarter's sales. Two completely different engines built for two completely different jobs. The absolute most advanced engine we have right now is deep learning. This is a highly specialized subset of machine learning that uses massive multi-layered artificial neural networks. And these are literally designed to mimic the architecture of the human brain. Deep learning is the powerhouse responsible for the crazy recent leaps we've seen in computer vision and natural language processing. It is the backbone of the most sophisticated enterprise systems in the world today.
Now, the really crucial point is where this technology is heading right this second: agentic AI. We're transitioning away from AI just being an interface where you ask a chatbot a question and it spits out an answer, to AI acting as an executor. Agentic systems can autonomously orchestrate multi-step workflows. Just imagine an AI agent that doesn't just find you a cheap flight, but actually compares the prices, enters your credit card info, books the ticket, and adds it to your calendar completely on its own. And as the sources point out, to actually pull all this off in the real world, you can't just rely on a single magical solution. Modern businesses are deploying a hybrid approach. Depending on the specific task, the cost, and the speed they need, developers will actively swap between 2 or 3 different AI models. Honestly, as one researcher hilariously put it, relying on just one AI model for everything is kind of like still using Internet Explorer. You absolutely need the right engine for the right job.
All right, Section 4, the theoretical future.
We're now officially leaving the realm of what's currently humming away on servers today and entering the hypothetical stages of advanced machine thought. The next major theoretical hurdle is theory of mind AI. Right now, machines process text and data, but theory of mind represents a massive psychological leap. An AI at this level wouldn't just understand the literal words you type, it would actually understand your emotional context, your underlying beliefs, and the intent behind why you're saying it. It would recognize that human beings have different perspectives and dynamically adapt its responses to match.
If we ever achieve that, we edge closer to the absolute holy grail of AI research: artificial general intelligence, or AGI. This is a theoretical system capable of learning, reasoning, and applying knowledge across any domain, performing at a human level. An AGI could learn how to play a complex strategy video game on Monday, and then seamlessly transfer that cognitive reasoning to diagnose a super rare medical condition on Tuesday. It's the ultimate versatile intellect.
And way at the very end of this evolutionary arc lies the pinnacle: artificial superintelligence, paired with self-aware AI. This is the ultimate science fiction endpoint, guys. At this stage, AI wouldn't just match human cognition, it would vastly outpace the brightest human minds in literally every single domain, from groundbreaking scientific discovery to the creative arts. Even more profoundly, a self-aware AI would develop true consciousness and its own distinct sense of self-existence.
Which leads us to a pretty massive existential question to wrap up this explainer. When self-aware AI finally does arrive, are we genuinely ready to negotiate terms with the very entities we created? Think about it. If we birth a superintelligent consciousness, it won't just be a handy tool anymore. It will be a distinct entity with its own goals and motivations. It is a thrilling, terrifying, and just absolutely fascinating frontier. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into machine thought. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.